Hello my lanky longs, welcome back to another Marvel Future Fight video. I would be saying welcome back like I've made another video with my voice, which is false, but I'm here anyway. Now, judging by the title alone, you know exactly what I'm going to be covering, and that is the 7 ways to get better at AC, aka Alliance Conquest, aka the best mode in Marvel Future Fight. Not for rewards, but in sheer enjoyment value in my opinion. Now, or for those who don't know what AC is what you see on the screen here. It's called Alliance Conquest, and you fight in this mode versus other alliances in this game with your teammates. Now, your teammates are either your friends, especially your foes, and you battle with your favorite characters that you have on your roster. And on your roster, it depends on who it is. It can be the Chad, the GOAT, Carnage here, or it can be freaking Cable. Now, what are the 7 best ways? Now, I've always watched my Alliance members, especially if they're new, when they play Alliance Conquest, and I'm going to be shortening it down to AC in this video, because Alliance Conquest every 5 seconds, in my tongue-tied tongue, it's not going to go well. It will be a stutter fest and a half. Now, I've always noticed these simple things they always mess up on, which I'm going to get to, but I want to lay down the first common sense, I guess you can say, when it comes to AC and getting better at it. The first one is being in a good alliance. This is the alliance that me and my friends have made, that we've made along the journey in MFF. We started from the bottom, now we're here. But in a good alliance, you get all sorts of good buffs. You see these alliance level bonuses underneath alliance bonus. These are extra buffs that you get when you're in an alliance. Like you get character XP 20% gain, gold isn't gained, and you even get little bonuses like this. It's very, very helpful. That, and you have access to everyone else's favorite mode. I think it's very boring. Yeah, our favorite mode, at least my favorite mode, is Alliance Conquest. Now, the first main point, like I said, is be in an active, strong alliance, because you get those buffs, and this is one of the reasons I gotta make a video on why AC is the best mode. It gives you more of a reason to build your roster, so you have more units to use on your team. And when you make more units, some of these characters get left in the dust, like Quicksilver here. This guy hasn't been meta in years, but you can still use him as fodder in Alliance Conquest. And his fodder, you can also use your stronger tunes, like Gold Boy here, or Ginger here. The second point I would like to make, I don't have any footage for it currently, because AC is about to end this phase, and you know, so see 5 minutes there up in the right hand corner, is teamwork. Now, in my alliance, we always call certain shots, we always make certain plays, like I'll say 90% on a certain area, because you want to bait the opponent. You see how 9 is right there? Purple, the 9. We couldn't take it because we didn't have enough members to take it. But what we would do is we would leave it at 90%, so you got 70% here. And we would bait and make the opponent waste tunes on it, so then we can just capture it, and then they have to retake it twice, basically. It's a very good strategy. Of course, there's other strategies. I'm going to have to make another video on just strategies, but I don't want to give away too many, because that's our alliance specialty, is we're not all brawn. We would love more stronger members, especially since we are level 30, and we have been ranked. We've been in the top ranks before. Just need more people to play. And if you're watching this video and you need an active alliance, come join us. We talk. We even have a little Discord that we usually chat in, and then we just play. It's a great time. But teamwork is a heavy row, especially if there's a unit that you can't get. Like when we go to 9, as an example here. See that Wolvie? Certain characters, Wolvie is easily, by far, the best tune in AC, and anyone can tell you that. If someone tells you otherwise, they're wrong. Now, a new up-and-coming team, which I'll have another video on that, is Carnage and Silver Surfer. That team's really strong, versus the best team, which is Wolverine, Adam Warlock, and Multi-Command Lead. But certain characters have to beat Wolverine. You have to work for your alliance to be able to pick which characters you can get, while your other members can get those that you can't. So teamwork is a very important part. Now, the third one. This is the last of the common sense runs. That would have to be the metas, the counters, the metas. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of people that don't play ACs because they don't have all the best characters, which I tell you, that is true to an extent, because you can still help out by getting a lot of the easier areas, so the stronger people can still have their tunes and have them in supply. So when you do go to the harder areas, they don't have to keep wasting all of their other tunes when you could have thrown them in there. Now anyone can build Spider-Man. Where's Spider-Man at? He's probably the cheapest, surefire, good AC tune. He's not as meta as he once was in Timeline, but in AC, this guy is a threat. Let me tell you, this guy is a pain in the neck to deal with, especially the teams that I build him with. I usually do Maya lead and Shuri support, and that Spider-Man's toxic. Like, the only way you're going to beat that guy is if you have a really cracked out team or a really strong Wolvie, because he can even solo Wolvies, which I don't like throwing him in against him. But in terms of defending, oh yeah, you bet your bottom dollar Spider-Man's be swinging. Always have metas and counters. What's a good counter character? Well, it's a good counter character. I think everyone knows Ancient One versus Jean. That's pretty commonplace. But a good counter character, which I'm going to get into right now, is point 4, is use your revive tunes correctly. Now, using your revive tunes correctly, there's 2 really, really good revive tunes. 3 if you want to say him, but the 3 that are the best, in my opinion, are Rachel here. Rachel, Cersei, let me go get the Cersei here. Cersei, and then if you really want to say Corvus, now I'm talking purely team-wise, like if you're building teams to go against certain characters, like Wolvie, which is one of the reasons why this is such a main point. I need these characters on teams. Now, Cersei and Rachel are great. I mean, I recently just got Rachel with her artifact, and she is amazing. Corvus, on the other hand, I've built teams. My favorite team that I don't have like a surefire way to kill an Atom is Strife lead, Corvus, and Hela. That can usually be Atoms, just because a Corvus can come back and can revive and do all his jizz. But Rachel, Cersei, you have to use them correctly. Always save them for Wolvie. For my, I'm gonna go to my teams that I usually use here. Now I don't have one saved. I gotta get on to that and save it. But Hulk, Gore, Cersei team. That team is so good. And this is like personal baby of mine that I've made myself. Someone probably made a video on it. I'd never seen it, but in terms of theory crafting, Cersei, Gore, and Hulk, such a good idea, because Hulk can come in. Same with Gore. They can whittle Wolverine down to his artifact, and when they die, Cersei also dies. And when she comes back, she can just nuke Wolverine and kill him. It's so handy. And the same thing applies with Rachel. Now I don't have her on the team, but Maddie here. I gotta fix this. Great, now I'm making a mess. But I usually run Maddie lead, Colossus, and Rachel, and that can beat Wolverines too. Very handy. You have to use your revive tunes correctly, because if you don't, you could be punished for them. Adam's a great guy, but he flounders against Wolverines, but use them correctly. But it's a counter. It's a meta / counter. So the 3 and 4 are kind of in the same tier. Like, you have to have the right characters. Like, Jean is good, but if there's a single reflect character that comes against her, oh, she's poop. She's nothing compared to that reflect character. That's why usually people what's the word I'm looking for? They place her with Wolvie to cover for that, or other tunes. But yeah, you gotta have right counters, and if you join, my alliance, I'm sponsoring here. We can usually help talk about counters, and I gotta make more videos teaching my other people in the alliance, because I want everyone to see how good this mode is. I love Alliance Conquest. It's so good. The rewards are dog doo-doo. It's the freaking dunghill. It's terrible. But the mode is so fun, especially with your alliance mates, and if you're all talking, it's a good mode. I highly recommend it. It's the only actively fun mode, as long as you're not fighting like Mr. McWales, which we had to fight a couple times. We got pretty close to beating. It just feels rewarding, because you can use your whole account on it. Your whole account. And you don't have to be scared of a character not getting value. Now, most PvE characters won't have value. but you can still use them as supports or whatever. My fourth point, and I'm gonna get to the good stuff. There's the last 2 points are really what I want to hammer home. But 4, be creative with your teams. Remember what I just said about the Gore Hulk team and Cersei? Cersei has no reason to be on that Hulk team. There's no reason for Cersei to be with Hulk and Gore. But like I said, she works because of her revive, and she can just come back and nuke. Another team would be like this Blue Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Morgan Le Fay. And granted, my account is kind of a whale account. But got to be creative with teams. That team actually works pretty well. Same with my Ghost Rider team here, Sentry Lee, because Sentry's giving him that coveted debuff removal, which I'm not going to talk about. It's kind of commonplace. If you've done any kind of PvP or timeline, anything in this game, you would know debuff removal is the most important lead. I'm not going to talk about it because it's very common. And then you have characters like Captain America, who gives himself debuff removal just on his kit, so you can compare him with White Fox and have him lead, and he works. Same with Null. You got to be creative with your teams, especially if you don't have the biggest whale account. Now, some of these teams I gotta redo, like this a Silver Surfer team. I have him with Carnage and Ancient Venom. Works great. Kills some of the best teams. It might be the best AC team now, which is nuts. And my Silver Surfer is very cracked. Okay, here we go. The 6th point. This is one that drives me up the walls, and I cannot stand it when people do it, and I laugh at foes when they do it. Let's see if I can find one here. I'm gonna go to here. No, nothing here. Nothing here. It's focusing so hard on the second row. Let's see if we can find it here. There's one. I know I'm looking at my winning character. On the second, it's just such a bad idea. It's because of trans tunes or trans potential, whatever, are such a threat. I can't find one here now. We just fought a guy with a Wolverine on the second row. If I can find a clip, like right here. I love Phoenix. He's such a good guy, such a good person in the Alliance. But right here, the Spider-Man team right there, he has in the second row. Why is it so bad to put characters in the second row? You only put characters in the second row as a last resort, or they're a team that you don't really need to use, or they're mid and they can do something. Why is for one reason. I just said it, but trans tunes, characters like Icon, if they win the first fight in AC, when you go against the first teams, and if they win, they automatically get their trans skill. They get it. They just get it for free. It's their ultimate attack. It's their T3 skill, but for free. They get it instantly. So that second wave that you have always gets one-shotted. They always get one-shotted. And it's such a pain in the neck when I watch someone put metas on the second slot, because it's so easily countered. Just do a great first team. And if that first team loses, well, your second team's probably going to lose too, because their tunes are already revved up and ready to fight. It's such a simple tip. Do not put your best tunes on row 2. Just don't do it. Do not put your best tunes on row 2. When you do, you're just throwing money in the wind. It's never coming back. It's just foolish. Very foolish. Alright. If I have some gameplay, I don't think I have much I've recorded on here. But if I do, I'll post it in your editor. You know what I'm saying. But the 7th point is Kairos. Kairos meaning just to know when to do that something. I'm simplifying it. Know when to attack, be patient, and wait. Don't have to jump on the bandwagon. Like just this space. I didn't record it. But Purple here was a genius, and they popped a shield on this space right here. Middle, like as we hit 90%. And as soon as they placed the shield, they dropped a bomb on 8 when we could place a shield on 8 and retaliation. So in all, they just lost points and we got 12. It's wild. You have to know exactly what you're doing and not just waste resources, because in MFF, Marvel Future Fight, resources, and this game will punish you if you do not play smart. If you do not play smart, you get punished every single time. You have to have Kairos. Well, that being said, my lanky longs, those are 7 tips at getting better at Alliance Conquest and more or less any mode in this game, because your alliance can help you out a lot. Like, if you need any help, we always do GBR runs or alliance battle info, and we just talk about anything. 7 tips, just 7 tips. There's so much more to AC, all the different strategies, movements you can do. Now, this map right here doesn't seem that special. I mean, come on, it looks very mid. But when you get to the higher tier, which I wish when they eventually rework AC, they can put the higher tier maps down here in the lower grade, because they're so good. They're so awesome. And there's so many strategies, there's so many plays you can make. Even with bad tunes, you can still win. You just have to play smart. I didn't even talk about your buffs. I think you saw them during the first part of this video. But that's 7 tips. 7 tips. My lanky longs have long lasting year day.